All right, welcome everyone. This is Jordan Berry, instructional designer at Hack, and this video is designed to give you an overview of Zoom's Breakout Room tool. So breakout rooms in Zoom can be used in your lectures as a way to simulate small group activities that you would set up inside your physical classroom. So basically what happens is you'll set up a number of virtual breakout rooms and assign a certain number of students to each room. And once they're in that smaller breakout room, they'll only be able to communicate with those in that smaller session and won't be able to hear anyone else's conversation. And you as the instructor will be able to jump in and out of different smaller breakout rooms to talk with those groups. You can have this done automatically or manually, as we'll see. So when you and your students are all settled in your Zoom session, you're going to go down to the bottom toolbar and select Breakout Rooms. You'll see a new pop-up appears and you have a number of options to work with here. By default, Zoom wants to automatically assign those participants to a certain number of rooms. In this case, we have 2 participants available and it wants to assign those 2 participants to one room. Now we can change that if we'd like. Since we have 2 participants, they could go into that one room together, or we can assign them 2 rooms so that they each have their own private breakout room. And so Zoom will automatically assign those students to those number of rooms. So if you have 10 students and you want to assign them to 3 different rooms, it'll automatically divvy up those students into those rooms. Now, if you want to have more control over which rooms students go into, you can pick the manual function. All right, so let's say we have 2 breakout rooms and we want our participants to go into certain rooms. We can set it up manually. So we'll see what happens when we hit create rooms. So now we have 2 breakout rooms, breakout room 1, breakout room 2. We can rename or delete those as you see on the options beside it when we hover over, and we can assign those breakout rooms to certain students. So let's assign a student to breakout room number 1. When we hit assign, we see the list of students populates on the right-hand side. Let's send Ari to breakout room number 1, and we'll send Borden to breakout room number 2. Now you can select multiple students on this list if you'd like. Okay, so now we have a number of options we can also take a look at. Let's hit the options button and take a look down at the bottom. Now the first option, move all participants into breakout rooms automatically. If we have that checked, when we open all the breakout rooms, it will automatically send those students to that room without them having to click join. Since its default is deselected, that means that students will get a notification that they are requested to join a certain breakout room and they will need to click join to enter it. The second option is selected by default and it says allow participants to return to the main session at any time. If you want them to have the ability to jump it back into the main session whenever they want, keep this option selected. If you want them to be stuck in the breakout room until a time that you define, then you can deselect this option. You can have breakout rooms close after a certain amount of time by selecting this box and then changing the time period within this smaller box to the right. And you can also have a little notification of when this time is up, just so you're aware. You can also include a countdown after closing the breakout room session. So once you close all breakout rooms, it will let the students know that the breakout room session is finished and you'll have 60 seconds to finish your conversations before you'll be sent back to the main session. So you can change that amount of time as well. So those are the basic options. What we're going to do is open all the rooms, and that means we're going to send those students to those defined rooms. Okay, so now on the student end, they're going to be asked to join because I had that option selected. So the students are going to join their rooms, and you'll see that they disappear from the main participant area. Once they're in the rooms, we can see that they exist in the breakout room, and we can hop into each room whenever we'd like by clicking join. So let's hop into Ari's room. It will ask us a confirmation, and we say yes. So we'll get a notification that we're joining the room, and now we're in the breakout room number 1 with Ari, and now we can talk just with Ari and no one else in the other rooms or in the main session can hear. All right, so when we're done from this breakout room, we can click leave breakout room. We'll say return to the main session. Okay, so here we are back in the main session and our students are still in their breakout rooms. Say we want to go check in on Borden and Jerry. we'll click More, and we'll click Breakout Room. And we can see Board and Jerry sitting comfortably in breakout room number 2, and we can join him. So there we are in breakout room number 2, and we can move back and forth between breakout rooms just like this as we'd like. So we'll leave the breakout room and we'll return to the main session. All right, once we're in the main session, we can call all our students back to the main area by closing all the rooms. So we'll close all the breakout rooms and we'll see that we get a countdown for 60 seconds to let students know that the breakout rooms are going to close and that everyone will be brought to the main session again. Now, students will be provided the option to stay in the breakout room for this amount of time, or they can just click Leave Now and they'll be sent back to the main session area, which is what we're going to have them do now. So the students now have left the breakout room and they're now back in the main session if we look at our participants. All right, and that's an overview of how breakout rooms operate. If you're looking for more information or you need clarification, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much.